Hi guys. All right, so we're on week 3. So for my week 3, I'm going to go over here to my planner, put in all the stuff that I'm going to be doing for week 3. I'm going to be doing New Mexico history timeline, adding and subtracting fractions, producers, consumers, decomposers for science, and for my social emotional, 50 things that I can control. Now you only have to choose 3 of those things. And for me, I chose saying that you need a break, getting enough sleep, and the kind of attitude that you have. So those are the 3 things that I can control, that I need to work on, and I came over here and I wrote them down. So my 3 strategies that I can use is going to be the kind of attitude that I have. So I can control whether I have a positive attitude or a negative attitude. I've come across a lot of challenges during this time, and it starts off with a pretty negative attitude. But once I changed my outlook and I had a positive attitude towards what my goal was, I was able to achieve those goals a lot easier. Taking a break, oh my goodness, that has been a huge thing for me right now. So I'm doing these videos, I'm trying to get all this other stuff done and trying to communicate with you guys and trying to, just do all the other little things that I do every day. And it's not working out. And it's super frustrating. These videos have not wanted to download, internet's not working with me. So there have just been times when I have just had to go take a break because it was just too difficult for me to try to get through it at that moment. And that's okay. It's okay to take a break, take a breath, and then come back to it with a fresh start and a new way of thinking about things. Getting enough sleep. So my sleep schedule has been messed up. I go to sleep too late and all that other good stuff. Well, I need to quit that. I need to start getting myself back on a routine. Just like we tell you guys do a routine, I need to start getting myself into a better routine as well. And it's just difficult because when we were going to school, it was so easy. I knew how my routine should go. I knew when I needed to go to bed. And with this disruption, it's just a little bit more difficult. So that's for our social emotional. We also have for our English language, we have our New Mexico stuff. So you have this whole thing. I only really suggest reading maybe 1 or 2 pages a day. And as you go through it, I would also highly suggest doing your timeline as you kind of go along. All right. So as I read through here, I would just start highlighting dates that I think are important for my timeline. And you can even look at the dates that are in the timeline and see if you can find them. Here on page 25, we have in 1536, Cabeza de Vaca arrived in New Mexico. That's an important date. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to highlight it. I'm also going to highlight what it is that he did, because that's what I'm going to be writing down on my timeline. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say, oh, he discovered New Mexico, blah, blah, blah. He was looking for gold. That's what I'm going to write on here. So I'm just going to summarize what he did while he was here. And I'm going to just kind of read 2 pages a day, maybe 3 if you're really on a roll. But, go ahead and highlight those things because it's a lot easier to find later on. We have our science, our energy roles, producers, consumers, decomposers. We were talking about this right before we left. So I gave you guys a little booklet to do. And this is what I did with mine. I just kind of went in through and I sorted it out. And my producers, I put over here what they do. My consumers, here's what they do. Here's who they are. They're the ones that eat everything. My decomposers are the ones that take things and turn it back into nutrients for the earth. So these are my decomposers. So that's kind of, what you can do with your booklet. And that's what I did. I thought that it made it a lot easier for my sorting. And then we have our math. Now with your math, you're going to have your puzzle pieces and you're going to have this. So I found this and I really fell in love with it. what it is it's going to help you organize your fractions as you're breaking it down. Now, with adding and subtracting fractions, you have to have a common denominator. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with your top piece here. This is the one that you're going to look at and you're going to say, okay, so what do I need to do? My first thing that I need to do is I need to go ahead and find the common denominator between my denominators. So I'm going to write out my multiples for my 6's and my 5's, all right? I came up with 30. 30 is the least common denominator, the lowest common denominator for the two of them. Now, it took me to 6 times 5 to come up with 30, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put 5 times my 1, 5 times my 6, and I'm going to come up with a new fraction. It took me to 6, 5 times 6 to get 30 over here, so I'm going to multiply my 6 by my 4, 6 by my 5, and I'm going to come up with a whole new number. Now, your whole new numbers, you're going to add those, and then your answer, you're going to put it over here. If you end up with an improper fraction, you're going to go ahead and turn it into a mixed fraction. And you'll do that just by dividing. So you're going to divide your numerator by your denominator. But as you're doing this, you're going to see that actually each step of this process is in your puzzle. So I'm just going to put it, I'm going to lay it over like that. So here we have our problem. Now, after we figure out what our new fractions are going to be, we brought it down here. These two are the same. And then that gives us our answer. So this is what we start off with. This is after we've converted it to our least common multiples. And this is after we've actually done the problem. So it takes you through each step. Now, I glued mine on here. You can. You don't have to. That just kind of gets it out of the way and you know that you did it. You should have the answers in your packet with you. If you don't have those answers, go ahead and email me and I'll send them to you. But that's kind of what we got going for this week. Now, remember, you need to keep reading because next week you're going to be doing either a chapter or a whole book, if you finish the whole book, on a character and what the story was about and the setting and all that good stuff. So keep reading. I've been reading, and I will show you what I've done with mine next week. So keep reading those books. Everybody should have books. If you don't have books, let me know. I'll get something to you. All right. So I'm super proud of you guys. You guys have been doing amazing. And your parents say that you've been really going at it. And I couldn't be happier. So thank you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.